You would remember that in the Goa Legislative Assembly, I had exposed the complete fraud in the land aspects relating to Birch by Romeo Lane, where I quoted paragraphs of the Director of Panchayat's order by which he had terminated the Sarpanch. And that order of the Director of Panchayat quoted paragraphs of the report of the committee headed by the Collector of North Goa. That report has not yet been made public, but those paragraphs were copied and reproduced in that order. So we got a glimpse of that. In that time in the assembly, I exposed that the collector himself said that the land is a salt pan, that the land is Khazan land, and also there was a statement of the secretary of the Panchayat saying that it was built in CRZ land. The Chief Minister, in response, admitted that these are facts and that there was a fraudulent manipulation of the records, and an inquiry was being conducted to ascertain who was responsible for this. But there is one more aspect which I don't know if that report has taken into consideration, and that aspect is relating to conversion. Conversion under the Land Revenue Code. I am told that this only the place which has the nightclub, Birch by Romeo Lane, only that hexagonal structure has been colored as a settlement zone, while the rest is still a salt pan. Strange. So that was also another fraud. But moving further, the question is relating to the illegal land conversion under the Land Revenue Code. Town planning conversion is one part, and the conversion under Land Revenue Code is a second part. Now, what is the law? The law is that whenever anybody wants to put any land to non-agricultural use, a conversion standard has to be applied under the Land Revenue Code from the collector. If it is an area below 500 square meters, the application is entertained and considered by the deputy collector. If it's above 500 square meters, it goes to the collector or additional collector. So therefore, it had to be one of these authorities who could have looked into it. Whenever there's a land filling done, whenever there's a conversion being done, I remember since my days when I commenced practice in 1989 as a lawyer, that I used to get cases where my clients would get notices of illegal land filling or illegal construction without conversion standard. And those notices always were sent by the deputy collector, relying on a report sent by the Talati. From the Talati, it would go to the Mamladar, who in turn would submit the case to the deputy collector. And the case was always with the title State through Mamladar. My question now is, what was the Talati doing all this time? How did the Talati not see that there was an illegal conversion activity going on in this property which had Birch by Romeo Lane? Commercial activity was being run. Commercial activities where They were earning in crores, not few hundreds, in crores. It was such a popular place. And the minimum thing one needed to know was there a conversion sanad or not? So why was the talati sleeping? How did the deputy collector not take action? Do they only come to office and take the salary at the end of the month, doing nothing? The talati is the first point who is supposed to be inspecting the areas. The talati is supposed to make the report and then make his report to the mamladar, who in turn sends it to the deputy collector. Now the question also arises is, what did the talati do in this time? Apparently he did nothing. Why did he do nothing? Did he get something? And has the collector in his magisterial inquiry report considered this aspect of illegal land conversion under the Land Revenue Code and a loss of revenue for the state? Because when there is an act of an illegal conversion, there is a penalty required to be done. In the case at hand, I can assure you that it cannot be condoned and cannot be legalized. Therefore, there is no question of allowing the operations to continue with a conversion sanad. The simple direction to be issued is to raise the structure to the ground and to pay a penalty for the illegal conversion of the land under the Land Revenue Code. I call upon the collector of North Goa to look into this aspect and take action against every officer responsible for this grave lapse. I also know that very often it's a bureaucratic lethargy which allows illegal structures, illegal filling of paddy fields, illegal filling of low-lying lands, cutting of hills and destruction of forests simply because the authorities don't act. If the talati had to make his report at the first instance, everything would have been fine. Secondly, they wait for someone to make a complaint. And often, locals don't want to make a complaint. No one wants to be in bad books. And the local politicians at the panchayat level or the municipality level, no one wants to file a complaint because no one wants to be in bad books, lose a voter or the family of the voter. And this is why this goes on unchecked and without any fear for the law. Collector needs to step up. The collector needs to take action and pull up the talatis, and in this particular case, ensure that action is taken.